Hey, I hope you are doing well. It's great to be here. I really look forward to seeing you all and hanging out with you every Wednesday night. And tonight we are going to talk about a couple things. First, I'm going to show you what I worked on over the weekend. And then we're going to do a page together using the Totally Tonal paper. So get ready for that. But first, I want to go through all of my events that I have coming up. And I hope to see you soon at one of those events or more than one of those events. The next event that I have coming up is my Friday night virtual crop. It's this Friday. So in 2 days, we are going to kick the Easter weekend off with some sketches and hanging out with some great ladies. So I hope you will come join us. It is on my Zoom room, and the event is in my Pam's Scrapbooks Facebook page. So you can grab the link and register. And give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So you can grab the link on my page, Pam's Scrapbooks, to register for the event. It is free. There is no charge for the event. We make three to four sketches every Friday at my Friday night crops, which are twice a month. Usually they are twice a month. In April, we're going to have 3. We are making up for one that we didn't have in March. So we are meeting this Friday, next Friday, and then 2 weeks from next Friday. So this week, we're going to do some sketches off of the Creative Memories blog. And, maybe I'll grab some layouts from other places as well. We like to change it up a little bit, have some fun with it. But we will have some awesome pages to work on together, or you can work on your projects. That is awesome too. And then, if you're not in the mood to really get things going on Friday night, just come join us and say hi and hang out with us for a little while. We love to have somebody to talk to while we are cropping. So come join us Friday night, 6:30 to 10 Eastern. Then my next event, Saturday. My next event is Saturday. If you are local to me, I am in Dayton, Ohio. And if you are in that area, the Vandalia Recreational Center is having an egg extravaganza. And there will be 2 Easter egg hunts. And there will be crafts and food trucks and lots of fun from 11 to 2 on Saturday. So it's free. Bring your grandkids and your kids and come on out. It's for everyone. So, and there's no charge. So that is awesome. It's going to be a great time. We're going to make some fun things and kick the Easter weekend off with our kids and Easter egg hunts. So come join us Saturday at the Vandalia Rec Center from 11 to 2. I hope I said that right the first time. It is 11 to 2 on Saturday. All right. I almost forgot about that one. So then next week, I will see you on Wednesday night. We will be back here for another layout and some more fun. And then Thursday night is the Let's Get Scrappy with It, Scrappy Thursdays. And Lisa and I each take a Thursday during the month. We do this 2 Thursdays, the 2nd and the 4th. And we each take a Thursday and we demonstrate a page and we give you a challenge for the month. So she will be announcing next Thursday. That is the 13th. Next Thursday is the 13th. So she will be announcing what your challenge is for April. So stay tuned to that. The challenge for March was waves. The challenge for February was hearts. And the challenge for January was circles. Wow. As we get further in the year, I may not be able to remember each of the challenges, but since it's only April, I was able to remember the first three. So there we go. So we just give you a challenge and you use that to make a page. You make a page using circles. You make a page using hearts. You make a page using waves. And then you post it to our group. Let's get scrappy with it. And you use the hashtag Scrappy Thursdays. And you could win a $50 shopping spree at the end of the year if you post some pictures of your finished layouts. And the more you post, the more chances you have to win. So get your layouts done, take a picture, and post it out there in the group. How fun. And you could win some free stuff. All right. So that is all of what I have coming up within the next week. And then on the 17th and the 18th of April is my next beginners class, Scrapbooking 101. It's a fun hour-long class where we learn different techniques, different tricks. We talk about how we organize, how we organize our pictures, all of that fun stuff. So come join us for a fun discussion. And then we usually do some kind of layout at the end. I do some kind of demonstration so that we can have some kind of visual of what we've been talking about during that hour. So it's so much fun, and I hope you'll join us for that. It is for beginners and people coming back into scrapbooking, and for seasoned scrapbookers. It's for all of you. It's called Scrapbooking 101, but it's also, a great sharing of information. So just come and join us and check that out. See what it's all about. Okay, so that is the 17th and 18th. And then my next scrapbooking retreat is the weekend of May 5th. And I still have spots available. So please reach out to me and to register. You just have to send in your registration fee. And all that information is also on my Facebook page as an event. So please go check that out. I'm so excited for another scrapbooking weekend. I just had one this past weekend. And that kind of leads me into what I wanted to show you first. But give me just a moment. Let me make sure that I can see you guys and see who's out there. I want to say hi. I love to see who's joining me. So be sure and say hello and where you're joining from. Give me just a second. It just takes a couple clicks here to refresh my page so that I can see all of you. Here we go. All of this text stuff that we have to do so that we can see. All right. There we go. Hey, Bev. So many opportunities. I know. So many opportunities to make lots of fun layouts and hang out with your scrapbooking friends. Lots of stuff going on. Yes, absolutely, Bev. And I hope to see you. Bev from Lewis Center. It's great. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for joining. Okay. All right. So let's jump into it then. Let me get my screen changed around here so you can see my desk. There we go. So the first thing that I wanted to show you guys is what I worked on this past weekend. Like I said, I had my March scrapbooking retreat, and what I decided I was going to take with me to work on is all of my finished pages that I make here with you guys and in my Friday night virtual crops, and all of these opportunities, as Bev said, to make pages. Last year, Elisa and I did 2+2 and 22, where we each did demonstrated a layout. We did that once a month. So I had all of those layouts. This year we're doing Scrappy Thursdays, so I'm making all of those layouts. And I don't, usually have my pictures ready. I don't know what pictures I'm going to be using on my pages. And I know for some that's hard to scrapbook that way because you feel like you're scrapbooking backwards. But it's actually worked out really well. So I have those, those 12 by 12 scrapbooking storage tubs. I have 2 or 3 of those full of layouts. So I thought, well, I've got to get those in my albums. So that's what I got to work on this past weekend. And actually, was it the weekend before that when I went to an advisor crop, I was able to work some on my pages then as well. So I got a lot accomplished, and I wanted to share that book with you because a lot of these pages we made together. So this is my album. I think this is called Boho Escape. It's so pretty. It's like a mustard color yellow with these pretty flowers on the front. I really love that. And then what I do on the inside cover is it's got a little journaling box here, and you just put in there what the book is all about. If you're giving the book to someone, it's a great place to put a little sentiment to the person that you're giving it to. I put the years. So this is my chronological. So whatever years this book has in it are the years that I put here. So I have 2021 in here and 2022. So I just put, I had some little die cuts from one of the paper collections. And so I just use those as my front of my album. And I won't, describe each page. I just wanted to kind of flip through and just show you that it's really easy to go back and add pictures to finished pages. And I apologize. I know there's a glare here from my light. Let me just lift this up and put my punches underneath it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. There we go. Let me move it over. There we go. I think that's a little better. All right. So yeah, it's really easy. I'm pleasantly surprised that I'm able to look at my pictures and think, oh, wait a minute, I did a layout that has blues and greens, or I did a layout that had cars on it, or I did a layout that, would match this theme. So, not all the time will I be able to find a layout that I've pre-made to match pictures. And if I don't, then I just make another layout. But I tell you, this whole book, I have been able to do that. I've been able to go back through my layouts and add pictures. So this is a good one to look at. It had 2 little squares. I think 2 little squares. I don't think this is one big one. Maybe it is. But my pictures were 3 small pictures, portrait, and then 1 landscape. And so I did happen to have the landscape here, but it's smaller than the photo mat that I did. So if you can see, my photo mat is bigger than my picture. It has a little bit of, I'd say, ½ inch over here on the side that my picture didn't take up. So I just put in a little saying there, to fill up that piece of paper. And then up here, I only had this one photo mat up here. So this picture does not have a photo mat behind it. These 2 do. They're just sharing the same one. And I think it looks great. So yes, I had to improvise on some of these, but it still looks great. And, I could have peeled the photo mat off, or you could leave the photo mat off altogether and just wait to put the photo mats on until you have your pictures. And in that case, I wish I had one of my little sleeves. We have these little sleeves out, and they are great for that because you can just slide all the layout, your pictures, your photo mats all in one sleeve, and it's all ready to go for you to assemble. If you're going to assemble it at home or you're going to a crop, you can kind of pre-work some of your pages and put them in these sleeves, and it works out really great. We also have project folders that are similar to that, but the sleeves, they're just thin little sleeves that you can slide your stuff in, so it'll protect. It's almost like a page protector, but it's a folder that's closed on 2 sides, and you slide your papers in, so that it's open on one side. And again, I wish I had one handy. I always talk about these things and then I don't have them around, but they work really great for when you have pre-made your page, put it in a sleeve. You put the paper in that you want to use for your photo mats. You put that in the sleeve with the layout, and then you're all ready to go for when you have pictures. So you won't have to worry about having a little hangover on the edge of a picture, or that there's only one photo mat here and you have 3 pictures. You can just assemble all that when you decide on your pictures. So just some ideas there. I take little sticky notes with me because I didn't have these pictures. So I leave these pages open so that I know I have to put some pictures there. So just wanted to give you an idea of what I was able to do this past weekend. See, I have a lot of places to fill in here with pages, but I was able to get, I really liked this one. This one worked out really well. I had all of these pictures. And again, I had this area of the photo mat that was extended, thicker. My picture doesn't fill up the whole photo mat. So I just put in this little saying, ice, ice baby, because of these long icicles in the picture. So, don't be afraid to do your layouts first without pictures. It really does work out. It really will. I promise. I don't know if you remember that, but this is Cue the Blue. We just did this one maybe a couple weeks ago. So I love the way that worked out. I don't usually do layouts with just one picture on it, but this one I didn't want to put any more because I love this vellum paper that's behind it. This is Cue the Blue, and I just love it. I didn't want to cover it up. And my husband happens to be wearing a blue shirt, so that all worked out well. So there we go. These are all of the pages that I was able to add pictures to and then slide them in my book on my pre-made pages. I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with the way it looks. They're all fun, and I got my pictures in my album. So there we go. I've got more to do, but this is a good start. I've got a good size album going here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you first. And now let's make a layout together. So I have another layout to put in my album. All right, so Totally Tonals. The Totally Tonal has been coming out now for at least a year. I know we had them last year. And so they are putting new Totally Tonals out each quarter, different colors. And first quarter this year, they did this purple ice and this baby blue. And then there was an island green. I'm going to work with the purple ice and baby blue tonight. So now this quarter, they just came out this week. There are new colors out. I know one of them is tangerine. Hold on. I don't have that up in front of me. So there's a tangerine. There is red, Totally Tonal red, Totally Tonal tangerine, Totally Tonal soft pink. And these are still available as well, the purple ice and the baby blue and the island green. So what happens is if you buy 6 of any of these paper packs, stickers, you get a free sample cardstock. So I did that in quarter 1 when these colors came out, and the cardstock pack that I earned is this sampler pack. And you get 4 colors of each of these. So I got blue, island waters, and purple ice. So these were the 3 colors that came in that pack in quarter 1. So this is what you can earn. And your colors in the current Totally Tonal buffet are, I'm looking here, a tangerine, a red, and a soft pink. So you can earn a free cardstock for every 6 Totally Tonal products that you buy. So great deal. Yep, it's a great deal. Free cardstock to buy this beautiful paper. And I know it's a different term. It's a different name. So Totally Tonal means all the paper in this pack is purple. All the paper in this pack is baby blue. So it's a solid color scheme. They have designs on them, but I just mean it's the same color on every paper. It's all purple in here. It's all blue in here. Different designs, different shades of the blue, but still it's totally that color. All right, so that's what Totally Tonal is. So I wanted to let you know about that special going on. So now let's make a layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a frame with the one shade of purple, and then I'm going to put 2 shades of blue on top of that frame. And Linda, a friend of mine, Linda, she commented on one of my posts and said she would love to learn how to make frames better, and then also how to punch out a straight border. So we're going to talk about frames and borders for you, Linda. I hope you're watching. I hope you come back and watch if you're not here live with us tonight. Okay, so I am going to use this from the Totally Tonal Blues. It's got very fine bursts, I would say, circle bursts. Looks like fireworks on one side, and then these cute dots on the other. And they are bluish. It's like a grayish blue behind the dots, but the dots are purplish. So I liked the way that looks. So I'm going to combine the 2 papers, and I'm going to use this purple. Oop, let me bring that up, with these fun oval shapes, half ovals, I guess. Little, it's depending on the way you turn them, they just look like little ovals. Fun little shapes. I'm going to use that as my background, and then I'm going to put these 2 on top of this. I'm going to use the front and the back of this paper on top of this one. All right. So let me get this out of my way for now. Move these stickers around. Oh, and the stickers, fun fact about those, they fit perfectly on the square and the circle punches that we have. So you can make some really cute stacks on your layouts with these guys. They fit right on the squares and right on the circles. So we will get to that if we have time tonight and make a fun little cluster to put in our layout. All right. So I'm going to use this as my background. So I need my binder clips because I'm going to cut it into a frame, because what I'm going to do is conserve a little paper and cut the center of this out for my frame. And then I'm going to cover that up with my other pieces of paper. And I'm looking for my trimmer. I've buried it already. All right. So here we go. Here is how I make a frame. So I'm going to do, well, I could just do a 1-inch frame. I think that would be plenty wide to adhere my other pieces of paper to. So let's just do that. Let's do a 1-inch frame. So we're going to bring the arm of our trimmer out. And hey, fun fact, on the back of this arm is a little leg that you can snap out into place, just like that, so that it stays steady when you're cutting. I love that. It's a great benefit of this cutter, of this trimmer. Let's see. Let me get this on my mats here. Okay. So now we're going to take our binder clips, and if you've never seen this technique before, I love it. I need to grab my ruler. I love my binder clips. So what I do is I use the binder clips to stop I clip them right on the arm of my trimmer, and this will stop me from cutting through the end of the frame. Okay, I'll show you. So we're going to make a 1-inch frame. So here's my one right here on my ruler. Okay, I like to use a ruler. I like to measure it out. Now on the side of the blade mechanism here is a white line, and that shows me exactly where my blade is cutting. I love that white line because I know exactly where to stop or start my cut. So if I take this ruler and I'm going to, let me go ahead and put my paper in so that you can see my paper, because I think that will be helpful. So I'm going to measure down 1 inch on my paper, right? Here's 1 inch. And I'm going to move my blade mechanism so that white line lines up with the inch on my ruler. And then I'm going to put the binder clip on the opposite side of my blade so that I stop at 1 inch. So let's just double check this. Let's make sure my white line is lined up with the 1 inch right there. Right there is 1 inch. Okay, so now my blade's going to stop. I'm sorry, the binder clip is going to stop my blade from cutting through the end of my frame. And then I'm going to turn it over, turn the ruler around, and do the same thing down here. I'm going to line it up with 1 inch. Put the binder clip on the opposite side of it so that it's going to stop me. Let's lift that up so that I can just double check. Nope, I've got that one off. Oh, no, I think that is right. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so now those binder clips are going to stop me at 1 inch, so I won't accidentally cut through the end of my frame. Okay, I'm going to have that in place to stop my cut. Okay, that looks good. Just double checking it again. Okay, so now we are going to cut a 1 inch frame. So we want to line our 12-inch paper up at the 11-inch mark on the arm of the trimmer. Make sure that it's back against this ledge here so that I cut straight. And we're going to make our first cut. Then we're going to turn it. We're going to line our paper up with the 11-inch mark again. We're going to make sure it's back against this ledge. And I'm going to cut it again. Same thing. We are going to line our paper up at 11. Get it nice and straight on your trimmer. And make our cut. One more time for that. 11. Make sure our paper's back against the back of the arm. Oop. And there we go. There is our frame. Now we've got this nice big piece here that we can use for something else. So we'll just put that to the side. And we have our great frame here. So we can now grab our other piece of paper that we want to put on here on the front. So there we go, Linda. I hope that helped. You don't have to use the binder clips. Just be sure and stop at 1 inch when you're making your cuts. You could also mark your trimmer at 1 inch to make sure you stop right there. I just need something that's foolproof because I will forget and just cut right through it. So, all right. So now we have our frame. So now we are going to cut this paper in half because I want to put this side at the top and this side at the bottom of this frame. Okay. So we're going to cut this at 6 inches. Oh, take our binder clips off because we do need to cut through the whole piece of paper. And we're just going to cut it at the 6-inch mark. So just a little tip. When you're cutting, If you are pushing your paper up to this top ledge to keep it straight, then cut from bottom up. If you are someone that likes to use the bottom ledge to keep your paper straight, so you push your paper down to the bottom of the trimmer to cut. So if your paper's down here on this ledge, then cut from the top down. That way you're not accidentally pushing your paper out of alignment and cutting crooked. So just cut towards the ledge that you're using. So if you're lining up at the bottom ledge, cut from the top down. So you're pushing towards the bottom. And if you're you're lining your paper up with the top ledge, cut from the bottom up so that you're pushing your paper this way towards the ledge. Just another way to try and make sure that you're cutting straight and keeping your paper lined up. Okay. Just a little tip there. And I'm going to go ahead and fold my little thing back down, click it into place, and put it in because it can't, having that little leg open will make your trimmer uneven because it does stick out a little bit. So you don't want to crack that off accidentally. All right. All right. So let's do this page here. Let me just feel like my camera's a little crooked there. All right. So we are going to put these wonderful circles here, and we are going to put these starbursts up here, but we're going to have to trim these down because right now it's covering up the whole frame. So we want to trim them down just a little bit because our frame is only 1 inch. So let's do about, let's start with a 1/2 inch and see if that is going to give us what we're looking for here. So another little tip, when you are cutting a small amount off, like a 1/2 inch, put your paper over here on this side so that most of your paper is up against the ledge. If you try and cut it this way, it can be a little wobbly and you can get an uneven cut. So push your paper over here, and here's the 1/2 inch. There we go. Let's see if that does it. Does that give us what we're looking for? I think so. I think a 1/2 inch is good. I can see the purple around. Let's cut a 1/2 inch off of this one. I could have trimmed this earlier so that I had one 12 by 1/2 inch, but that's okay. I'll just do it now. No problem. Oh, I cut the wrong way. I have to remind myself to. Okay. So there we go. And I'm not going to trim this because we'll leave a little overlap there just to give us more places where we are binding our paper together. So there we go. Let's lay this down. Let's put some adhesive on it. So lots of different choices here for adhesive. You could use your photo tape. And mine is not right here handy because I'm still unpacking from, here we go. Here's photo tape. So these are it's one big long strand, and it's, let's see how many feet, 65 feet of photo tape is in our dispenser here. So you could do photo tape on the edges because we do have enough room here that you could get some photo tape down there. So that's one option. You can use your regular adhesive. You can use a combination of regular and repositionable, which is probably what I'm going to do. Maybe more repositionable than regular because it's easier for me to just take my repositionable and run it right along the edge here. And I'm just going to grab my mat. The silicone mat is really nice for the repositionable adhesive because it just rubs right off of this. the adhesive doesn't rub off so easily. It does clean off from your cutting mat, but the silicone, it just rubs right off. It's a lot easier. So I like to use that one. All right. So I'm just going to take my repositionable and just run it along the edge of my frame here. Get it all there. Now this repositionable, don't be fooled by the name. It is repositionable, but it is also permanent. So just because I can reposition, and that's not really why the top benefit for me of the adhesive. The top benefit for me is that I can use it for small, little intricate pieces, things that have a lot of open space in them and they're very narrow, very intricate, like laser borders. That's the main benefit for me, is that I can just run it right along that whole thing and get adhesive all over it just real fast, versus having to use a glue pen and dot everywhere, dot the adhesive everywhere. So that's the main benefit for me. That's the reason that I love the repositionable. I think they say it's repositionable because it is the little dots, and it probably comes up off the paper. When you first lay it down, you can move it around easier. But after it's laid on your paper and adhered to your paper, it is permanent. So it's just like any other adhesive. So don't worry and don't let this fool you. It's your layouts are not going to fall apart. Your pieces are not going to fall off your layout. It is a permanent adhesive. Okay. So I am going to just use some of the regular as well in my corners. I like to have them really solid. I don't like it when I have bubbles and my paper is bubbling up. Okay, so I'm going to use my mat. I love that we have measurements on all of our mats. And so I can line up where I want my paper. See, if I wanted it an inch down, there's my 11 and my 1. But I'm going to do, we cut a 1/2 inch off, so I'm going to do, let's see, if I do a 1/2 inch, I think that will be good. So I'm going to use my 1/2 inch mark right here. And my, let's see, 1/2 inch is going to be too much for this. So about a 1/4 inch, I think, in. So there's my 1/4 inch at the top. Actually, I think it's going to be, it's not going to be half. It's going to be 1/4 both places. 1/4 inch both places. Let's see how that looks. There we go. That looks about right. Now, before I really mash that down, I'm going to get my other paper and make sure that's going to be good. Yep, I think we're going to be good. All right. So now I'm going to really push this down and adhere it to my frame. There we go. Same thing. I'm going to take some repositionable and I'm going to run it right along the edge of this frame. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. I'm going to add a couple little pieces of the regular adhesive just to doubly adhere all of this, a double adhering of my paper. And then I will just try and get the same distance at the bottom. I can use the side, the top piece of paper to help me line up the sides. And then I just kind of eyeball it. I think we're good. All right. Very good. Oh, I like the way the colors look together. All right, let's get this mat out of here. There we go. So, and this could easily be a 2-page layout. If you are somebody that likes to do only 2-page layouts because you have tons of pictures, totally could be a 2-page layout. And what would be fun is if you use the same papers, but you turn the other one around so that one of them has the dots at the top and one of them has the dots at the bottom. So they would be opposites. That would be very cute. Or you could turn them on their side. You could turn them like this in the middle. Totally up to you. So many different ways you can change the look of your layout just by turning your paper. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do is we are going to put a fun little floral border in the middle to cover up this seam. So let me grab my paper pack. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. Yeah, it's behind me. Here we go. So I have not picked out which one I want down the middle, but I'm thinking I would like something darker so that it shows up. Now, these stickers that we have, they don't have borders on them. There's no borders in these Totally Tonals. There are a lot of circles and sayings and such. So let's grab something dark here. I just think we need something that's going to stand out. Now, this is a darker color, but I don't know that I want the same pattern. The stars is cute. I like the stars. And my pattern is a flower. So I could also do a piece of cardstock. Let's look at the blues. Let's see if there's one in the blue. All right, let's use the stars. I think I like that one the best. I like that color. I think that brings out this dark color of our frame. And I'm going to use the Floral Peaks border cartridge. Oh, what I didn't do, my layout's kind of flopping around here. I just remembered I didn't put any adhesive down the center. So we can just take our repositionable and run that right along the inside of this paper. There we go. And any excess that's above the line here where I didn't want it, I can just simply wipe it off. Another benefit of the repositionable. I love that. Plus, we're going to be putting a border right there anyway. So there we go. Okay, so let's do our border now in this Floral Peaks. All right. So if you have not used one of our border punches, let's walk through it. Hey, Janice, thanks for joining. Glad to see you. I hope to see you on Friday. So there are 2 black dots on the front of our border punches, and that's where you start your paper. That's what you line your paper up with for your first cut. So I like to move my paper through the border punch this way, but if you're someone that it feels better and more comfortable moving it this way, then that's fine too, because there's a black dot on each side of the front of the punch. So either way is totally up to you. So I'm going to take the left side of my paper and I'm going to line it up with this left black mark. And that's going to be my first punch, making sure that I'm back up against this ledge so that my paper is nice and straight. We don't want a crooked border. Before I start punching, actually, I want to do a border on the top and the bottom of a piece of paper. So I'm going to trim my paper first. Let's do that. And I'll show you what I mean. We're going to punch this twice and on the top and the bottom of this, and I'm going to cut it. Let's do, these borders are usually about 2. Okay, so it's about 1 inch wide. So let me do 2.5 inches. Hopefully that's wide enough. We will find out. And if not, then we'll start all over. Trial and error, right? All right. So now I'm going to feed my paper. I'm going to line it up with that black dot, the edge of my paper with that black line on the front of the border. It can be a little more difficult when you have a narrow piece of paper, but I'm just taking my paper right where that black line is, and just lining it up with that. Okay, so now this punch has some extra little helpers to help me make my next punches. It has some little arrows that I can use to line up. And then it also has what every other punch has, is the pattern, like the background, if you will, of the punch on this tray. So I'm going to take what I just punched and I'm going to line that up with that pattern on the tray. And I'm going to line up that little arrow that's at the top. So, oops, sorry, I'm out of there. There we go. There's a little arrow right there, and it's punched out in my paper. I'll show you it this way. There we go. So you can see that little arrow right there. Oops. Right there. I can use that to line up, as well as the pattern here with the pattern on the tray, to make my next punch. So I'm just going to put my paper in. I'm going to line all of that up, and I will pick this up so that you can see what I mean. Okay, so you see I have the little arrow up there. I have the pattern right here. I'm going to line all of that up. I'm going to cover that up with what I just cut out. Cover up that pattern on the tray with what I just cut out. And then that's where I'm going to make my next cut. Making sure also that it's back up against this ledge. And we're just going to keep doing that. Slide your paper through, line it all up on the tray, and make your cut. Slide your paper through, line it up on the tray, and make your cut. I may have needed to trim my paper at 3¼ inch, but again, if it's not wide enough, we'll just start over. And I can use this border for something else. There we go. So that was my last cut. So if you have any that are connected pieces like this, just gently pull them apart. No problem. All right. There we go. So there's one row of our border, nice and straight. All right, so now we're going to flip our paper around and do the same thing. I'm going to line it up with that black line to make my first cut. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, how does that look? Oh, I love it. All right, there's not any paper in between. It's just right next to each other, the flowers. And I actually like the way that looks. Ooh, I'll show you in just a sec. I'm excited. Keep lining it up. Keep making sure it's against the back ledge. There we go. All right, and then just pinch off that little piece that's still on there. Oh, so pretty. This is my first time using this punch, so I wasn't sure what the measurement would be. If you wanted to punch this out and have a border that had a little bit of paper in between the two flowers, you can do that as well. This I did 2.5, I think. Is that what I did? I think I did 2.5. I'll have to go back and watch the video. But I really like the way that looks. It really blended well and didn't mess up the flowers on the other side. So there we go. We'll cover up that seam, and we could trim it if we want to trim it so that it's the same width as this paper. I think I will do that. Let me grab my trimmer. And we'll just take a little bit off. We did a 1/2 inch. So let's start let's do a little bit on each end. So let me just line it up like at a 1/4 inch here, and I'm going to gently do this. I don't want to mess up my flowers. So there's one side, and then we'll take a little, I think this is a 1/4 inch right here. Perfect. So I just trimmed off each end so that it would be the same length as my inside paper. Love it. Okay, so now I can show you on my silicone mat again with the repositionable tape. Turn it over, and I can simply just run along this whole thing. It's getting glue adhesive everywhere, all over it, so it's going to stick. It's going to lay down nice and flat to my paper. It's getting the adhesive all over, but it's also getting the adhesive where there's an empty space. So that's why the mat is good, because it just rubs off. It's great. So there we go. I'm going to lay this guy down. Really happy with the way that this came out. And again, I can the flowers. I can just gently rub the excess off in between there. And there we go. Very nice. I think I laid that down crooked. Let's check. Looks a little crooked to me. Yeah. So in that case, we can try to find our multi-purpose tool. Here it is. And we can bring this up, repositionable, gently. And looks like I'm like down here. Let's just bring the whole thing up. It's okay if we have to redo it. All right, so I'm going to line it up here at the 7. And then make sure over here I'm at the 5. There we go. Much better. That's why I love having these rulers. Help me get things straight. All right. And then we can take our stickers and we can have some fun with decorating our layout with some stickers. Something on here. I mean, we could pick from either one. The blue or the purple is going to look great with either one of these. Thank you, Bev, for saying that about the border. I do 2 inches for the, I'm sorry, 2.5 inches for the floral peaks. Really looks great. Hey, Sue Ellen, nice to see you. Hey, Margie, purple is your favorite color. Well, I don't know how many friends that is the same for them. They love purple and they have everything purple. So yes, I agree. Purples and blues and teals are my favorite color too. They just really are warm and inviting to me. So All right, well, I have just a few more minutes to walk you through one of these one of these stickers. Let's see, which one should we have on our page? Let's do a circle, and I'm liking the purple. So let's do the purple, and I'm going to grab my cardstock. I do have some bits and pieces of this cardstock, so let's grab one of these and cut out a circle. So we're just going to cut a circle here. I like to turn it upside down. I can see right where it's going to cut, and I can get it as close to the edge as possible, save some paper. So any of these would look really pretty. Ooh, I think I like this one now that I see this. And we can put that right in the center like that. You know we're going to use some foam squares on that one though, right? It's got to have some depth and some fun on our layout. And then I'm going to put this guy in the center. And then maybe we're going to grab, this little, I was going to do that flower, I think. Let's see how this little guy looks in the center. There we go. We can put that little guy right there in the center of that sticker. If I could get it centered. Okay. And then we can put this as a center, or, I know, I have my mats. I cut my mats out. So the mats I did at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. That's what these are. Okay, the back mat, the bottom of the mat, I should say. Okay, and then the white part, this top layer of the mat, I did it 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So there we go. We have our mats and our border and a little decoration for wherever we want that. And like I said, this is a great time to use those sleeves and just slide all of the stuff in a sleeve. Don't put anything down yet. Just put it all in one sleeve. Wait till you figure out which pictures you want on this page, and then take it out of the sleeve and put it all together with the pictures. So there's a lot of great ways to kind of pre-make some pages, and it kind of gives you a head start if you're going to a crop. Get all these pages ready and then just assemble them when you get there and do your journaling. So great way to get some pages done. And I hope you guys will try this one out. And when you do, please post it out to my Facebook page. I would love to see your version of it. I would love to see which papers you use. This is the kind of layout that we make at my Friday night virtual crop. We use sketches and we all put our own style to it. So please come join us this Friday night. I would love to see you there. We usually have about 7 or 8 of us. And again, we sit and talk and laugh and have a great time. And you're right in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to pack up anything and load it in your car. You can just scrapbook right there in your scrapping space and have somebody to talk to while you're doing it. So come join us 6:30 Eastern on Friday. The event is in my Facebook page, but if you have any questions or if you need the link to register so that you get the Zoom link emailed to you, please just reach out to me. Send me a Facebook message. Send me an email at pammoran@outlook.com. I will get that registration link to you. And I guess I didn't explain that earlier. All you have to do is fill out your name and email, and then you will be emailed the Zoom meeting link. And you can hold on to that because it's the same Zoom meeting link for all of our Friday night crops. It's the same one. So put a bookmark on it, save it in your browser. However you save your websites, save that link because that's the same one. You won't have to register again. You just have to register one time. So can't wait to see you guys. thanks for hanging out with me for an hour. I love hanging out with you guys and talking about new stuff. Um, if you want to see all of my videos, please go out to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I am getting ready to put some new series of videos out this summer. That is going to be my goal over the summer. I'm doing less in-person events and more videos on YouTube. So you could be making these pages all year long with me. That would be awesome. And you'll have an album filled quick. So I can't wait to scrap with you guys. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter. And if you have a 3-day weekend, have a relaxing time. Join us on Friday because we're going to kick the weekend off with some scrapbooking. All right, guys. Have an awesome evening. I will see you here next Wednesday. Good night.